our ancestors that's on my mind is a great Ella Baker, y'all. She used to say, "We who believe in freedom cannot rest." Let me say it one more time for somebody in the back. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. I'm not gonna rest while trans lives are under attack. I'm not gonna rest while we're being persecuted all over the world. I'm not gonna rest while ICE is in our streets. I'm not gonna rest until all of us are free. Welcome to Our American Dreams. This is our new YouTube series where we are traveling the country to tell our stories in our own voices, in our own way. This is a moment where our communities are under attack, but we can't only tell the stories of harm, we've got to lift up the hope too. So we're going to be traveling all across this country, talking to teachers and professors, to business people and Congress people, and everybody in between about what's at stake and also what's giving us hope.
Hello, my name is Blakeley. I work with Equitas Health. I am a HIV advocate. I would like young people to understand that HIV is not a death sentence, to get in good care, know your status so you can live a long, healthy life, and surround yourself with community as well so you can take preventative measures as well when it comes to being sexually active. What gives me hope to keep going is every day I'm waking up. I know it's a new day, so I know I have hope to keep going, to help encourage someone else, whether that be someone who is newly diagnosed, someone who's been living with HIV like myself. But every day I wake up, I know I have hope to help someone else.
We're coming at you from Columbus, Ohio. This is the very first stop of the American Dreams Tour. And we're here in Ohio in purpose and on purpose, y'all. We're here because the state of Ohio in so many ways is emblematic of the story of equality across our nation. This is a place where there was a moment where equality felt inevitable. And still, here in Ohio, conversion therapy is still not banned. And they're still going after our access to things like bathrooms. This cannot be the way that we live. We've got to come together and fight back. And the beautiful thing is, we've seen this before. And every time our community has faced resistance, we have always come together, shared our stories, built community, and changed the course of history. We're gonna do that again, and we're starting here in Ohio and taking this effort all across the country.
If you could deliver a personal message directly to lawmakers passing anti-LGBTQ bills, what would you say? To any member of elected office that is watching this, the biggest piece that I could say is remember who you work for. You don't work for a corporate PAC. You're not in office representing the interests of billionaires. You're not an elected official representing the interests of the very few. You're there to represent we the people. And we the people include LGBTQ people, includes immigrants, includes women, includes people of color, includes people with disabilities.
I am a 17-year-old trans person in Columbus, Ohio. What gives me hope to keep going is Kaleidoscope Youth Center. It has been my safe space since I was 12 years old, and just being surrounded by other LGBTQ people has really helped me see that people like me can grow up and can get old, and it is very empowering.
I am here with the one and only Congresswoman Joyce Beatty. Yes, they're going wild at home, I know. About what does the American dream mean to you as someone that's an advocate and an ally and such a champion for change?
I think if I could paint the ideal portrait of what that would look like, it would be that we could live in a world free of people being judged or discrimination. We could be who we are. We could live in a world where we're not afraid to express our opinion. After all, we have free speech. But we don't live in a world like that. People are too judgmental. People are denying our rights, the same rights that we were fighting for 50 and 60 and 70 years ago. Certainly in my line of work, probably the most important thing to me is that we live in a world where everybody had equal rights, where there was equality and justice, where people could go to the voting polls and feel free that they could vote people of their choice into office.
What do you think is giving you hope, even in the midst of these dark times?
I think the American Dream Tour gives me hope. The hope is that I can have friends who are married to each other of the same sex.
Yes.
The hope is that I see little children talking about my two mommies and my two daddies, and yet how gifted and bright and fortunate that they are. We could not have done that years ago as freely as we can today. So I always like to say that hope is on the horizon because history repeats itself. We will get through this, but there will be pain and there will be people who will be harmed and devastated and hurt, but we're resilient as a people.
Yes.
And so that's what I'm holding on to, and that I will continue to be a voice. I will never be afraid to speak up and to speak out because I know what happens when you don't.
What words motivate you? What's a piece of advice or message that keeps you going even on the toughest of days?
Resiliency motivates me because it means that we are resilient and you must continue to fight no matter what. What keeps me going every day is commitment, sacrifice. The sacrifices that people made so I could be in this chair today talking to you. I think of my grandmother and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and all the women that did things against the odds.
Yes.
And it gives me strength to know I too can continue to fight against the odds.
Look straight into that camera and talk to all of America. If there's one message that you have for every advocate and ally that wants to fight for equality, what is it?
So let me just say, if you're going to be in the fight for equality, don't ever be afraid. Don't walk away from who you are. And I stand with you because I'm not afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to fight. And in this together, Kelley, we are the American Dream Tour.
That's right.
And that is drop the mic.
Yes.
I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, and I approve this message.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Congresswoman.
My name is Chris Reese-Dupin. I use the pronouns he, him. I'm a trans dad. And recently, my child was going on a school field trip to camp, and I was so excited, and she asked me to go with her. And I thought about it, and I thought about standing in this moment, whether that was gonna be okay, but I decided to let hope win out, and I said yes, that I would go. 4 or 5 days before the field trip, the school principal called me and started in with the thing that nobody wants to hear, which is per Ohio revised code. And I just remember like my heart just sinking. And I knew what was coming after that. And she shared that I wasn't gonna be able to go stay overnight. Having that conversation with Hayden, with a 10-year-old who just wanted her dad to come to camp, was the hardest part. And she said to me, Dad, I want to go on the field trip. My friends are there. It's important to me. And I want you to be there too, but I understand if you can't go, but Daddy, can you be brave? And that was what she asked of me to do. And I called the principal and I named the harm that had happened, and I named that it was discrimination, and I asked her who she was gonna show up for if she wasn't gonna show up for my family and my child. And the most amazing thing happened was that she listened. And that's why I think that we have to be able to tell our stories, and we deserve to go on field trips, and we deserve to eat bad cafeteria food, and we deserve to sleep on mildewy mattresses at camp just like everybody else. And here's the part that I think that I would ask of you, and the ask is, be someone who shows up, be a person who listens, and be a person like this principal who said no more, that says, I'm gonna show up, and I'm also going to be in this fight with you because we are so tired of doing this alone.
We also stopped by Salt Lake City to talk to the one and only David Archuleta. Ooh, I'm sweating, I'm a fan. And talking with him all about his experience of growing up and coming out in the Mormon church as a person of faith and in Salt Lake City. So how has the journey been for both of you, especially, since you came out in the public eye and kind of navigating that here in Utah and with the family?
When I came out, I was living on the other side of the country in Tennessee. And, I know my mom always feels like bad when I tell this story. Because when I first called my mom, we were very, very devout Mormons, very staunch Mormon. And so I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm going to just, I want to let you know, I'm going to start dating guys in case it starts getting out there, because I downloaded the apps and I wanted you to hear from me rather than through a news source. And my mom's like, honey, I love you, but I love God more, and I can't accept this about you. And I testify to you, God's plan for you is to marry a woman and to have children and married in the temple. And I was like, Mom, I get it, because I believed all of what you're saying up until a week ago. I don't need you to accept what I'm doing, because I know it goes against your beliefs, but I just want you to respect that I'm making the best decision for me right now.
And then what happened? Because you're sitting here at the Human Rights Campaign's gay gala in Utah, so clearly something happened in between.
David did an article in People magazine that it hit my heart, the core of my heart, and I started bawling and I was crying I was 3 nights reading that, and it hit me because here's my child telling me that he wanted to kill himself, that he didn't want to exist. And I'm thinking, something hit me with that interview, and I told my husband, I just can't do this anymore. One day I was in church and I looked up and I looked around. I didn't see any queer people. I didn't see any colorful people. And I thought, God is not here. God is not here because God loves everyone.
Yes.
How can we be so exclusive?
So this is going to be about Earthly Delights. I'm so excited to listen to the full album. Is there an anthem on your song that will make us march, make us want to get out the house and do something?
There's a ballad. So I don't know if it's a march, but there's one called Home. And I feel like that one is really, it's a ballad, but it's about, for me, it's my love song, and to kind of show what queer love means. That basically, it is like the sentiment of love that anyone would feel.
When you sang Freedom at the national dinner, when I tell you the water works in the room, because it was really, I think, a testament to how, whether you're queer or straight, a person of color or white, it doesn't matter. All of us feel like we're in some kind of a box that we need to break free from. And I think in a lot of ways, that's the project of life, is to figure out how to access that level of freedom.
Latter-day Saints are considered to be a part of a high demand religion where you have a lot of rules, what you should and what you shouldn't do. And it gives you a lot of self-discipline. But when music would come, it was like this moment where you could unleash all the emotions and heartbreak and sorrow and excitement and anger and frustration that you've been building up for so long. And it's just...
The biggest thing that keeps me up at night is that I have a son who is 12 years old. He is a young African-American boy, and I feel like sometimes I have him in a state or in a country where they don't respect or they don't value him. He's going to be judged basically based off of his skin tone, based off of his characteristics, and not for how smart he is, how bright he is, and everything that he can be. And so as a mom, that keeps me up at night, because if this world isn't better for him, then what am I doing?
Hi, my name is Serhiy. I am originally from Ukraine, from Kharkiv region. For my dream, it's live here with my husband and to be myself, first of all, and realize my potential and experience. For me, it's first of all freedom and honestly and safety. Last 3 years, I realized it's very important for life. Why? Because when you don't have access to these simple things, it's not life.
I hope y'all enjoyed the episode as much as I did. That's what this is all about, telling our stories, owning our experiences, and reminding ourselves and each other that we are not without hope and we are certainly not without power. And not only are we going to be telling you our stories, we want to hear yours too. We're going to be raising 1 million voices for equality throughout the course of this campaign effort and through this series. This is our time. This is our moment. These are our American dreams. So if you want to be a part of this, join us, join the movement, join the tour. Click below, like, subscribe. This is your time to be a part of this effort because we know together we can win.